You won't believe how this tiny trickster fooled an entire kingdom. Stay with me as I unveil one of Africa's greatest untold legends. Once upon a time, in the kingdom of Bodija, ruled by the mighty King Tunde, lived a man named Kola, a commoner with nothing but a sharp mind and a fast tongue. Kola was poor. He had no land, no riches, and no family name to protect him. Nobles scoffed at him, merchants ignored him, and warriors barely noticed him. But while others relied on strength, Kola relied on something far greater, his wit. And one day, he would use it to do the impossible, outsmart the entire kingdom. One evening, the great King Tunde gathered his chiefs, warriors, and wisest advisors in his royal hall. His voice echoed through the chamber. "I seek a man who can outwit my counsel. If anyone can fool the wisest minds in Bodija, I shall grant them wealth and power." The crowd murmured. The challenge was no small feat. The king's advisors were legendary for their wisdom, their cunning unmatched. Many men stepped forward, but each one failed. Until a single voice rose above the whispers. "Your Majesty, I accept your challenge." Gasps filled the room. The crowd turned to see Kola, dressed in tattered robes, his eyes gleaming with confidence. The king chuckled, amused by the sight of a beggar standing before him. "And what makes you think you can succeed where others have failed?" Kola bowed deeply. "Your Majesty, before we begin, may I borrow your royal walking staff for this test?" The king, intrigued, handed over the staff. Kola raised it high. "Your Majesty, I have a powerful prophecy. In exactly 7 days, this royal staff will disappear without a single soul stealing it." The court erupted into laughter. The nobles smirked. The warriors shook their heads. "We shall see," the king declared, "but if you fail, you shall be punished." But Kola simply smiled. The game had already begun. That very night, while the kingdom slept, Kola slipped away from the palace, taking the staff with him. Days passed. The palace remained peaceful, unaware of what had transpired. But on the 7th day, chaos erupted. "Where is my royal staff?" the king roared, his voice shaking the walls. Advisors searched high and low. Warriors turned the palace upside down. But the staff was gone. And then Kola strolled back into the court, calm as ever. "Your Majesty, I told you it would disappear, and now it has. Was my prophecy not true?" Silence filled the hall, then came a wave of gasps. The king's advisors exchanged nervous glances. The warriors' smirks faded. King Tunde stroked his beard, a slow smile forming. Clever, very clever. But he was not done testing Kola yet. The king leaned forward. "Very well, you are clever. But answer me this. How can a beggar like you marry a princess? If you can solve this, I will make you a noble." A murmur spread through the court. This was impossible. Or was it? Or was it? Kola bowed once again. "Your Majesty, give me 7 days and you shall have your answer." And just like before, he walked away. But this time, he did not go alone. He went to the heart of the city, the bustling marketplace. There, he whispered to the merchants, "The king has chosen me as his son-in-law. Prepare the finest gifts for the wedding." The news spread like wildfire. The tailors wove rich fabrics, the goldsmiths polished their finest jewelry, musicians practiced wedding songs. Soon, the entire kingdom buzzed with excitement. By the 6th day, nobles whispered in the palace halls, "Have you heard? The king has chosen Kola for the princess." By the 7th day, even the king's advisors were congratulating him. And then, news reached the king himself. King Tunde's eyes widened. "What nonsense! I never said that!" But when he stepped onto the palace balcony, he saw thousands of people celebrating the wedding of Kola. He sighed deeply. Then, after a moment, he burst into laughter. "You are truly very clever, man in Bodija. If the people have accepted you, then so shall I." And just like that, Kola, the poorest man in the kingdom, became one of the richest. Not by strength, not by wealth, but by wit. And so Kola's name became legend. His story was passed down from generation to generation, a reminder of one simple truth. In life, it's not always the strongest who win, but the smartest. What do you think? Would you have outsmarted Kola, or would he have fooled you too? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more legendary African stories.